Hello students, now let us try to understand mesh analysis with different cases. Okay, so first I have taken a two loop circuit which is having a dependent voltage source. Here you can see this rhombus symbol indicates a dependent source. Here the plus and minus indicates it is a voltage source. Okay, so what is the value of this dependent voltage source? So let us assume it as Vx. So the value of dependent voltage source is Vx, which is equal to 10 times current Ix. Okay, so what do you mean by dependent voltage source? So here it is a current dependent voltage source because the value of Vx is dependent quantity of value of Ix. Ix is a current flowing in somewhere in the circuit. So what is Ix here? So Ix is current flowing in 20 ohms resistor. Okay, so the value of current in 20 ohms resistor will define the value of our dependent voltage source. Okay, so that is what it means. So here the value of this dependent voltage source is a dependent quantity of Ix, which is a current flowing in the 20 ohms resistor. Okay, so now let us try to understand how can we apply mesh analysis here and how can we solve for our loop currents. Okay, we are going to find loop currents in our mesh analysis, right? So given question is find loop currents in a circuit. So first step we are going to take is we are going to assume our current directions. Okay, so I am going to assume current direction. So there will be two currents because there are two loops. Okay, I1 and I2. So I have assumed the current directions in clockwise direction. Okay, so now let us write KVL expressions in each loop, and before going to that, here this is our Ix current coming like this, and here this is I2 current coming like this, and here I1 current going like this. Okay, so now let us consider this as node O. Okay, so let us apply KCL at node O. Okay, so what is happening here? Ix and I2, this is Ix, this is I2, and this is I1. Okay, so Ix and I2 are entering into the node, but I1 is leaving the node. So when you apply KCL, so let us write entering current is equal to leaving current. So entering current is Ix plus I2 should be equal to leaving current, that is I1. Okay, so that means Ix can be written as I1 minus I2. Yes or no? So I am going to define Ix in terms of our I1 and I2. That is what it means. Okay, so I have to replace Ix with I1 and I2 so that we can calculate I1 and I2. Okay, so now let us apply KVL in loop 1. So KVL in loop 1. Okay, so that will be, so starting from the first terminal of each element. So this will be first terminal regarding I1. So this will be positive terminal regarding I1. So here this 20 ohms resistor is called mutual branch. Okay, mutual resistor, that means it is common for first loop and second loop, that's why it is called mutual branch. Okay, so let us write KVL. So I am going to write, I hope you already know how to write a KVL, right? So I am starting from the first terminal of 75 volts voltage, and that will be plus 5 into I1, and here that will be plus 20 into, because we are writing with respect to loop 1, I1 will be higher compared to I2. Okay, actually, yeah, it is Ix actually. Yes or no? 20 ohms resistor, the current through 20 ohms resistor given is Ix, which is equal to 0. So we can write Ix equal to I1 minus I2. Okay, so from expression 1. Okay, from 1 we can write Ix equal to I1 minus I2. So let us simplify this. So 75 I1 plus 20 into, in place of Ix I am going to replace it with I1 minus I2. Okay, so I1 minus I2. Okay, should be equal to 0. So you can solve for 5 I1 20 I1, that will be 25 I1 minus 20 I2 will be equal to 75. Okay, so to 75. So let us assume it as expression 2. Okay, so next we have to apply KVL in the loop 2. Okay, so let us apply KVL in loop 2. Okay, I hope you are getting some sense. Okay, so let us apply KVL in loop 2. That will be, let us start from this voltage source. So starting terminal is positive, so plus 10 Ix. Here with respect to 20, that will be 20 into minus Ix, because Ix is in the downward direction. We are assuming the current I2 in the upward direction. So that will be minus 20 Ix, and here plus minus 4 I2. Okay, so let us write it plus 10 Ix, next 20 plus 20 into, it is minus Ix. Okay, that will be plus 4 into I2 should be equal to 0. Okay, so now let us apply equation 1. Okay, so that will be Ix equal to I1 minus I2. Okay, I am going to substitute here. So that will become 10 into I1 minus I2. Okay, plus that will be minus 20 into, in place of Ix I am going to replace it with I1 minus I2 plus 4I2 should be equal to 0. Okay, so let us rearrange this. That will be 10I1 minus 20I1 will be minus 10I1 minus 10I2 plus 20I2 will be equal to plus 10I2. Okay, and here plus 4I2, that will be 14I2 should be equal to 0. Okay, so that will be plus 10I1 minus 10 minus 20I1 is minus 10I1 minus 10I2 plus 20I2 plus 4I2, that will be 14I2. So if you multiply minus, that will be 10I1 minus 14I2 should be equal to 0. This is our third expression. Okay, so if you can solve our second and third equations, you are going to get values of I1 and I2. Okay, so solve equation 2 and 3, you are going to get values of loop currents I1 and I2. Okay, so I hope you know how to solve it. Okay, so solve them and upload the notes in assignments. Okay, so this is about mesh analysis with dependent voltage sources, and in the next example we are going to take another model so that you can understand the different cases of mesh analysis. Okay, so this is about dependent voltage sources in mesh analysis. Okay, thank you. So now let us try to find loop currents in this circuit. Okay, so here we have two loops, so we will be getting two equations. Okay, so let us assume, first step is let us assume the current directions. Okay, this is our first current I1 and this is our second loop current, that is I2. Okay, so this is little bit interesting. Okay, so please stay focused. Now let us apply KVL in loop 1. So I am writing KVL in loop 1. Okay, so that will be starting from first terminal of each element, that will be minus 20 plus 8 into I1. So for a common branch, that is plus 4 into, that will be I1 minus I2 should be equal to 0. This is equation 1. Okay, so let us rearrange this. That will be 8I1 plus 4I1, that will be 12I1 minus 4I2 should be equal to 0. So let us treat this as first equation. Okay, now let us apply KVL in the second loop. Okay, here let us apply KVL in the second loop. So here across common branch, that will be 4 into I2 minus I1 plus 2 into I2, and what is the voltage across a current source? So we can obtain the voltage across a resistor when we have a current through it, right? And we can obtain voltage across a voltage source. So but we cannot obtain voltage across a current source. This is very important. Okay, we can't find voltage across a current source. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, we cannot find voltage across a current source, independent current source. Okay, so then how can you find I2 here? So what is I2? I2 is a loop current we have assumed in the clockwise direction. Okay, I2 is a second loop current, but there is a current source already existing in the second loop. That means this current source itself is a loop current, that is this 10 amps current source is itself second loop current. That means, so this 10 amps current is flowing in the second loop, and we assume the second loop current as I2 in the clockwise direction, that is downwards, but the actual current in the loop 2 is going upward. That means our I2 should be minus of 10 amperes, that will be I2 is minus 10 amperes. Okay, but a current source in a loop is current in that loop. Okay, so that means I2 is nothing but current 10 amperes flowing counterclockwise direction, that is what I2 is minus 10 amperes. Okay, so 10 amperes is itself second loop current, that is what the thing. So we have obtained I2 directly because we are having a current source in the second loop, which is I2 is minus 10 amperes. So by substituting the value of I2, you can find I1 in this first equation. So let us substitute I2 in equation 1. Okay, so that will become 12 I1 minus 4 into, in place of I2 I am going to replace it minus 10 amperes, that will be equal to 20. So you can obtain I1 value by solving this, that will be plus 40 is equal to 20. Okay, so that will be 12 I1 is equal to minus 20. So I1 can be written as minus 20 by 12. If you further reduce it, that will be 4 5 ja 4 3 ja. Okay, so this is what I1. Okay, here the negative sign indicating that, so we took it as positive clockwise direction, but the actual current is flowing in counterclockwise direction. So that is what it means. Okay, so this is how we are going to find loop currents when we have a loop current source. Okay, so this is about second case of mesh analysis. So in the next class we will be discussing about one new concept. Okay, so thank you.